very big picture, even the directions to lead by medicine, like today's medicine, no, that's the way we have to go. Include this kind of very important harmonize with the nature ideas. When you design any medicine, any chemicals, you have to be careful, harmonize with the human body, harmonize with the nature. You're against this kind of principle. That's not called medicine. That's the killing drugs. You treat disorder, you treat disease, but people lost life. That make no sense. And the last one called Shen Qi processing, we have to keep Shen Qi running, cycling. In our mind, we call it Qi. Qi has energy pattern, is cycling. So the Shen Qi processing in this kind of normal cycle, all functions performed day after day, season by season, year by year. And you know the daytime and the nighttime, the cycle very clear. But also, you know the season, the changes for seasons. You know it's very clear. But when you take the long run, you know each year the weather condition, it has different type of cycles. Normally, you know, oh, that's the year by year. So we have that kind of yearly based cycle. So also we, based on the yearly cycle, have more longer cycle. We need a generation after generation to make a record to watch it. So that's nature energy affect human body. After thousands of years, the Yun Qi theory developed. Amazing. But how many people pay attention on it? Not enough. That's the huge, big, wonderful knowledge. We don't pay attention. I hope some scientists pay attention that can contribute to our human, the society, the knowledge, thinking, or towards the future, even the space programs, all related to Yun Qi. Okay, so that's the these slides. So when we're talking about the PTSD based, but also meanwhile, I want to expand everything associated with our entire life, this kind of mental energy, and all the emotions, our junk foods, everything, and letting you know. I just want you to have to be careful. The modern medicine uses certain words is commonly people used. Is our current, not just for diagnosis, is already rooted in our mind as the part of our consciousness structure, the contents. Also, that's the part of our, the common sense affect our current culture. Now, for example, we're talking anxiety, everyone makes sense. If we're talking your mental energy, unstable, that one feel wondering, what's that? If we're talking anxiety, more related to your internal chemical serotonin, people make sense. If we're talking anxiety related to internal, all the transmitters off the balance, but several transmitters include serotonin, they have some kind of role associated with the anxiety. But we're talking that's the mental energy. Harmony-based idea. Mental energy unstable. No one understands. But that's the reality. So anyway, just to let you know this. So the symptoms for PTSD, we call it flashback. What flashback? Like a sea of fire which can bring back the memories to gunshots or war. That's the soldier painful experience. Doesn't matter what kind of war. The soldier lost life is a victim. Soldier come home. If they have some kind of emotion, trauma, hold back, that's also is a victim too. And a see car accident, which can remind a crush, survival of him or her. And I see the news, report sexual harassment, so memories can be back to past painful experience. That's all related. So this is a flashback. So flashback, when you put together, deep think about that. What's that? It's a memory. It's a memory, right? So what's the memory in TCM? It's a deep level of the Shen. Deep level of the Shen. But right now, I let you know one verse. We have a consciousness is idea in modern time. Also, Freud discovered called unconsciousness. It's a big contribution to our psychology. When we talk about unconsciousness, no one say you lost life. No, that's a psychological word. Unconsciousness beside you or under your consciousness. Now you know, you understand it, aware of everything. But just below that, under that, you have so many unconsciousness functions. Everything's still moving. You're not aware of right now, but they keep coming back. That's the deep memory somewhere. So the TCM give you ideas. Our consciousness in the brain level, they call the brain Shen. In the deep consciousness, subconsciousness, or unconscious, doesn't matter what you call it. You are not aware of everything, but that's huge. That's our 5 organ Shen. Before, I couldn't make a big voice talking about. Right now, many things proved. Our organ system associated with our brain function. Already proved is the digestion system. Even the E. coli, bacteria, can affect our brain. So digestion system, but not limited to that. Take a while. Everything should be clear. The organ system all related our brain function. They all harmonize together. So the TCM telling us, say, yes, that's the 5 organ Shen. Brain Shen just in the brain is called extraordinary organ. Extraordinary organ. Your 5 organ is ordinary, normal organ. So you have 5 Shen in the deep consciousness level. We call it in the deep Shen level. Even you don't know it, doesn't mean they don't working. They are working. They are working together. Do the harmony works. So that's why we have flashback come from this kind of 5 organs communication and jump up to our brain. Most of the time triggered by the environmental somethings. They call the flashback. But also in the reality, even you don't have anything triggered, the people still in certain situation, when they sit on the sofa, when they try to relax themselves for some reason, the old trauma suddenly jump up. That's my patient. Even now, they follow me. They still suffer from this kind of appearance. And even someone not ready to go see doctor, but they know they have PTSD, but they still suffer from the mental and this kind of emotional the experience. Keep coming back. And sometimes there are no particular trigger they can recognize, but they feel the suffer, feel the pain. And also, this kind of people normally, they take action like avoidance. Avoiding situations that remind that events, efforts to avoid the thoughts, feelings, and conversations. That's my patient in front of me. If you want to share any case related to certain things mentally, she said, oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to listen. I don't want to hear that. Yes, makes sense. So that's why the timing not ready, don't talk something in the front of patients. We know we have exposure therapy. You have to take a step by step. Not everyone you suddenly put back in their environment to let them recover all the traumas. You have to know the procedure, do it properly. Don't add a new injury to the Shen. Also, efforts to avoid activities, places, or people. Yes, makes sense. the trauma. That's why someone sensitive to the water, or sensitive to the airplane, or sensitive to the certain places because something happened there. That makes sense. Even we don't call it injury, PTSD, we don't need to say that. But we have shin injury still in the light, in the general conditions. For example, you both were made a break up the last met in a certain restaurant, in the park corner somewhere, that bench, or in the ocean somewhere. To you both, or maybe your friends watched maybe. Anyway, especially to you, you had emotion in that location. Since then, every time you walk that location can remind you, I had such experience here. That makes sense. And sometimes another, because that's mental energy has dynamics. Any type of emotion, trauma, or some things from the internal processing, it's not consciously you understand. From the 5 organ working, they generalized or shifted or changed. They made towards different things, manifested on a different subject or material objects. Who knows? Any people feel very different, sensitive, or feel very, very hard to handle, hard to management, how to do the management. They're very difficult to communicate with. That's why. Also, we call the inability to recall the important aspects of the trauma because blocked. So the mental energy is running, cycling, but internally they work so hard, even they don't know, put somewhere else, cannot reach the consciousness level. That kind of qi energy stuck somewhere. That makes great sense. No, the avoidance. And also markedly diminish the interest in activities. That's our medicine, right? In TCM, we say we don't have desire, no interest. If the shen qi no interest, nothing want to do, the life energy deteriorating, we have trouble. That's why you see the PTSD. So many people stay home. They offer the school is free, training is free. It doesn't matter, you're free. I'm not interested. I know what's the word going. I saw